Hello there, welcome back to Golden Horde and, well, the Great Khan. Currently we are doing some things here. Among other things, I've actually forgotten to put one of these guys down. Sort by income. Well, I'll sort by value then. Lübeck, Venice, where do we have power? Hangzhou? Sure, we'll send the guy who isn't actually doing anything there. But anyways, that's something else entirely. What we'll be doing this time is, well, first of all, we're fabricating a claim on this province, which I am currently doing. And, well, that's going well. We did annex Xi last time for, well, the potential fabricating province. I could also just have gone for this Castilian province down here, but I think fabricating claim on Taiwan is a little bit more, well, as the script should go. We'll also be most likely annexing Shun pretty soon. That's more or less a given. So other than that, I'm a little bit unsure what the next steps are. We'll probably try and eat up this area here to create a proper, as I said, big horde. We'll probably also go after Muscovy to some extent. But I think I'm going to wait until they are, well, I don't really need to wait, but we'll probably do that once we have the admin and points and everything to spare, so that should be fine. For the time being, however, we'll focus on Benagyar and Castile, Timurids, basically this area. Hopefully we can fight the Castilians soon. We'll see how it goes. Well, I do think that the war is more or less as good as over. The only thing we'll really be waiting for here is the Corsi to finish. Should happen before they retake this province. If not, it's not a horrible scenario per se. It's basically just to make things a little bit easier. Of course, since we do finish course, we do also get a party. It's not a party without revolutionaries to attend. And I think that is basically going to be the limit of what we'll do during this one. I just unfortunately have to still wait until either, well, when our claims are done, I can send this guy home, which is probably just fine. So we're going to send him home, which gives him another chance to finish off the province itself. But it's not a problem, a big problem, that is. So let's just go for, again, the province that I do actually have a claim on, because we save diplomatic points that way. And I'm a little bit unsure if I actually want to take something else here. I'm a little bit unsure what Marva actually would accept in this case. If we take a quick look on culture, they will accept the entire area. So I think I'm going to sacrifice a little bit of points and take two provinces here. One for Kuch, and one for Marva, because I'm a nice guy that way. We can sell Basra right away, so the overextension is not something that we need to worry about, at least not at the current stage. So we'll be doing this deal. It's a little bit more expensive than I like, but it is what it is in this case. And I'll probably have to convert these before they will take them. So that is a little bit of a minus, but not much I can do about that. Now you're joining a coalition, it's not surprising. The fact that we got the overextension event right away is a little bit infuriating though, but again, it is what it is. I'm going to hand over this to the Ottomans. They will actually take it right away, and I am going to be trying to see if they might be tempted to take this. I think they might be. Not these guys, they don't want that one, definitely not. And let's check if Kuch is a little bit more hospitable. They'll actually take that right away. So as such, we don't have any glaring overextension issues as of now. Meva we can't core anyway, so it is not a concern. And the cost is also astronomical. But yeah, basically what we're going to do now, I think, is slowly but surely wait for the rebels here to more or less give up, and then we're going to continue from there. Overextension wise, we're also looking better than we did before. So we're going to work on, as I said, converting. We're going to have these armies more or less outfitted for their purpose with cavalry, and also of course we're going to add regular units to them, so they should be up and running in no time. So we'll see what the future brings. So, order is restored, not surprisingly. Got a 3-point stability for that, after they took 3 of mine. All in all, it wasn't really a bad time. It was a really simple time. It wasn't it wasn't really that troublesome to begin with. So we dealt with that fairly easily. The armies here are almost done as well. So the eastern part is more or less secure, as of this moment at least. The only thing that I have to do now, of course, is wait for the course to finish in the area here. Then we're probably going after the Timurids more or less right away. Again, growing power is a little bit important here. I have no idea what happened to my voice there, but anyways, growing power is the important thing. And we're growing at a decent rate. Again, I'm a little bit unsure with Castile if I want to perhaps wait and see if France leaves the fold. It would be beneficial, but I think this is the time to declare war, because France is already in war with Austria. And that puts us in really it puts in, let me just put it this way, it puts us in such a favourable position that I can't resist. Of course, if we end up finding the French in the west, we are going to most likely get trashed, but order is restored. I can now send my armies back to, well, the western front, if you will. And the goal here will, of course, be to beat the French. I could even try and fabricate or get myself in alliance with the Austrians. That is how ridiculous the current situation is. I can ally myself with the Holy Roman Emperor against the French menace, if you will. We are also the same tech and military, so we have no worries there either. Of course, naval-wise, we are going to get trashed in open battle, but the goal, of course, is just to siege the province rather rapidly. We'll see how this situation goes. There we go. Our fleet is currently in position over at the provinces in question, and I think we're going to just go for that war. They have actually lost their alliance with France. France is defender of the Catholic faith, which is potentially an issue here, but at least France will, according to what we have learned so far, not become war leader. And France did actually join in, but they aren't war leader, so potentially I can just white peace them after a while. We'll have to see how, or if that is a potential, well, way of doing things. France entered a military alliance with Castile. Well, that's a bummer, but again, if I can just take Taiwan here during this war, that is the only goal. I haven't actually taken Armenia or Georgia yet, but I can just make a move on that anytime I want. Now, right now I'm valuing the fact that we need to convert a lot of land quickly over the fact that it would be beneficial for me to well, get that extra admin points a month. I'm valuing something else in this case, and I think we're also going to try and help out them here with the troops. That, however, is not a good thing. That Venetian army. I'll have to hire a general here, and he's a pretty damn sweet one. 464. I don't think we can win this battle per se, but if I get the Ottomans to help me out here, then we can definitely win that battle. And that doesn't actually seem to be the case, so I need to deal with the... I'm going to deal with the rebels first, then we're going to join up here, and then we're going to beat back the Venetians here, and hopefully get a decent peace deal out of it too. We'll just have to see how it goes. Currently the situation is not looking good for our side here. We have basically a really awkward situation where the Ottomans decided to march into, instead of besieging Zeta, which they had all possibilities of doing, they decided to march to Dalmatia, stopped by the French forces. And again, this is a ridiculous, this is basically just ridiculousness from their side that is currently losing us this war. Taiwan has been sieged, or is about to fall, depending how you want to look at things. And as such, as I said, it's just silliness from their side, more so than anything else, that is currently putting us at a disadvantage in this war. So hopefully here I can use my armies here to, well, turn the tide, so to speak. You are going to be put in charge of the secondary or backup army that we'll use to hunt down smaller armies. But anyways, I think we can win this. I just need to make sure that the Ottomans doesn't do any more silly maneuvers like that. That's basically what will decide the fate of this war. We just need to keep them out of my land and the Ottoman land, and everything else will more or less do its own. So hopefully, as I said, my vassals can keep their armies out of this. That is basically the entire war, so to speak. War will be lost or won on that, I believe. So again, I'll show you if there's any bigger battles, but other than that, I'll just keep it to myself. That, however, is a terribly, terribly huge army. I might have to try and bribe the French out of this again. 555 General, 364. Huh. Can I bribe the French out of this is a big question. I offer to concede defeat. How far are we off? 50 points. If I give up my Ottomans deal, I could go for just giving Moscow to Muscovy. Archangels. I don't really want to, but it might be what I will have to do here. Basically, give up some land to give some land back to Muscovites like this, and then fabricate claim, fight them. Basically, I don't have any reasons to wait with a potential battle for the area again. And let's face it, if that is what it takes to get the Ottomans out of this, I might just have to go for that. Releasing the Ottomans is kind of out of the question, even though they aren't that big or too big. Releasing Polotsk and Ukraine could potentially have Poland gobble them up, which is not a good thing. Releasing Novgorod out of the question, too big. Giving anything back to Scandinavia is also out of question. They like the idea of giving stuff back to Muscovy at least, or Scandinavia, but nothing else here. Releasing the Ottomans is something they would like. Let's face it, I'd rather give up 5 provinces here than the entirety of the Ottomans. They're just too important, they're just too helpful. That is when they do the job. I don't really need them, that's the worst part of this. But let's face it, if I don't get the French out of this, they are going to trash my armies. I don't have an army big enough in this area to make a difference. The Venetian and Britannian army is it's worthless. It's easily destroyed. That's the fact of the situation. I have no reason at the current point in time to do anything towards the how should I put this? To do anything that would potentially, I can actually take Croatia as a vassal. I think we're going to go for that. We're going to sacrifice some land in Russia. Let's face it, giving it back to Muscovy, not that much of a problem really. They're all the way over here. Shouldn't can mostly deal with them too. Mostly, that is. And armies that I have in the area already big enough to deal with any issue that Muscovy would provide. I can just march this army also over there. Yeah, it's a decent bet. The problem with this game is basically that France is still too powerful. They're just this tiny little island. Well, they do have some colonies, but even so, I don't see how they can march so many armies into the Ottoman lands for a province in Japan. It doesn't really make too much. Sorry, not Japan, China. It doesn't really make too much sense. But yeah, I think my idea here is it's solid. It's not the best thing, of course. I could give up Sita, but why would I want to? Wait a minute, I can give up Sita and I can take it back? Huh. It doesn't matter, I need to have the scores match up anyways. Muscovy is an expensive one. Archangels is an expensive one. And then we just need to match up to 50. Nope. Pskov, nope. Kind of want to have them away from the border. Okay, so I've changed their minds on the war deal apparently, or I set something up at 3-4. Fine, we'll give them 6. I'm kind of just wanting to have them away from the border here. Funny thing here is, due to religion, this might actually unsettle their country a little bit. It might be beneficial for me in the long run, but right now it's not a good one. But I don't. Screw me backwards. Well, I guess that ends this drunken stupor, whatever you want to call it. Basically, I screwed up big time. There's not even words for how much I screwed up. I thought I was negotiating with France. Turns out I wasn't negotiating with France. I was negotiating with someone else entirely. We are going to murder Muscovy. I'm just going to murder them. Anyways, what I did here was basically put more work on myself due to the fact that I now made peace with Castile as a whole instead of just the French. So basically what I'm going to have to do now is conquer the land again, and then most likely hand it back over again. Basically I'm going to still most likely pull this off. It's just going to take an enormously longer time thanks to these hilarious stupidity that I just did. Wow. Anyways, I'm just going to, as I said, prepare for the war. Last of this episode, get a little bit out of my frustration, and I'll be back. I finally decided what to do. We're going to vassalize Georgia peacefully. That was at least the plan. What we are going to do here now is declare war on Armenia. We're going to take that by force. That is at least the plan if I get there first. I didn't get there first. I might have to declare war on Georgia here, just to basically make sure that I take Armenia. I was too slow. Well, I can still offer vassalization though, so it doesn't really matter. So we're going to improve relations, we're going to get an alliance, etc. We're going to peacefully vassalize Georgia as the 5th nation here. We're going to use that vassalization to our advantage in the release of a future release, basically. And hopefully I can turn this whole bad situation around. We're going to fight Muscovy pretty damn soon. It's going to be a slaughter. I'm not going to care about manpower losses at all, more or less. The goal here will be containment. Muscovy, I'm going to go with just win a province per se. And again, the goal is basically to just smash them as quickly as possible. I need those provinces back. I gave up a ton of admin points and in claims here just for no good reason. I'm livid with myself, although I might sound calm. It's just, this is my disappointed voice, or frustrated voice, take your pick. But we are going to, I think, go for the Timurids first. Again, just because I can, and because I need to get my frustration out of something. The Timurids are a good target for that, so we'll declare war. Kind of bad in terms of getting piety back, but I'm already screwed the pooch on that one. So Timurids will be fought here. I'm pretty sure my vassals can handle that on their own, more or less. And the next goal here will actually be to take these 3 provinces to give Kuch a bridge over to the area. But I'll fight this war. It shouldn't take too long. I'll keep on fabricating claims on the Muscovy provinces that I gave up as well, and I'll be back with you very, very soon. Considering the war score needed to take these provinces back, it's probably going to have to be done over 2 wars. So I'm going after Muscovy, Archangels, and Nizhny Novgorod in the first one. So we're actually going to declare war here because I know for a fact that the Muscovite armies are in this area, 50,000 men. And with this army, compared to, especially if you consider the fact that I do have advantages on them in terms of well, tech. They're 21, I'm 24. I have basically I'll suffer less losses than them, so I should be able to win this war, even with the lesser forces that I have at the area, and that is a signal for that, the fact that they stopped. So if I can just keep them in the area until basically I get some backup, then I can probably trample the Muscovite forces to the ground once and for all in a very simple manner. So I'll show you the bigger battle once it actually happens. I want to wait for these guys. I'll be focusing on the Timurids in the meantime, which shouldn't be, again, a big challenge. The Timurids are done for. There's a 60,000 stack of Ottomans in the Timurid lands right now. What we are going to do now is actually try and attack. I'm a little bit unsure how this will actually pan out, considering that we are, well, fewer than them. But as far as I know, this land is pretty flat, at least most of it. So we'll see how this battle goes, and so far it's basically been one-way slaughter, I think. Come here, my pretties. Yeah, we have a just cause in this case. They lost 24,000, we lost 8. It's a decent battle, and what I think we're going to do is just screw them a little bit extra. We're going to, well, I don't want to hunt down their forces inside of their lands. It's kind of a scary thing to do. Also, the fact is that I completely forgot to actually do anything with my forces. I have a feeling that I really should leave this for another day, especially considering my tactical blunders today. But Art of War is out tomorrow. That's really why I think I'm subconsciously stressed, of all things. Fair enough that I do make a decent amount of blunders usually while playing, but this is a new record even for me. So I think we're going to end it here, at least this episode. It's starting to drag out, and I'm going to be aiming at finding a new war with these guys as soon as possible. Georgia should be a vassal by then, which I can then release. I will probably also allow Venice to take some Ottoman provinces to give away. Then I can just force them to give them back again. But But I'm going to try and eat up Muscovy here again as quickly as possible. I'm getting a headache from this, but I'll take a short break and then I'll go back to recording. Sorry for dragging this out, sorry for you listening to my whining, and I hope that you have a better day I hope that you have a much better day than I am having. I'll see you next time, bye.